morning, everyone. So, this is the Rockstar Hour, a Zoom coffee chat, the 10 possible ways how you can market your services in the current situation. The number one thing that I feel like is really helpful, and since we're all on social media anyways, is to join different Facebook groups. It could be the professional virtual assistant communities, it could be digital nomads, it could be creatives, digital creatives nomads, digital tribe, virtual assistant tribe, work from home groups. Let me see who else. Maybe maybe some of the tech savvy virtual assistants. So do a bunch of different searches on Facebook and see what comes up, and maybe look at the number of members in the group. Also see if how active the group is and what kind of posts they actually put out there. And if it really resonates with you, take a look at the about section to look at the mission and the message of the group. You feel like that could be valuable for you, then jump in and see what comes up. With the Remote Rockstars Club page, we try to also, like I said, post different job opportunities daily. That's just kind of like the number one thing to market yourself, start engaging with the people in the group, and then start monitoring any job opportunities that come through, hashtag job op, and any conversations about employment, also rates, or any type of like discussions about the workload and the hours. Like all of that could be helpful and informative to you, to just see kind of like what other people are doing and maybe what other ways they are using to market their services right now. I feel like sometimes overlooked thing is, which is genuinely a big help in reaching out and letting people know about your services, is letting your friends and family and personal connections know that you have 2, 3 maybe available spots in your professional portfolio and you're looking to fill them. And let them know about maybe what excites you in the virtual assistant services world, right? Show them your passion. Those kind of like positive memories from a conversation definitely stay with people longer. And I feel like every time you kind of like pop in their mind, they will just remember that smile on your face and how passionate you were talking about your industry and the things that you enjoy delivering and supporting your clients with. So definitely use that kind of like personal moment to just really connect them with what you do, so that they see your connection to your craft. And then reach out to businesses and start building authentic and genuine relationships. So this is kind of like a great time really to connect with your local businesses, maybe some businesses that you see on social media, companies that you have admired from a side and never really kind of like had the courage to reach out. Right now is a really great time. I would slightly adjust your outreach message to the current situation, and I'm happy to provide a template and maybe help a little bit with the personalization of that message. Reach out to me if you need any support with that. A lot of people are still running their businesses on the regular, at the regular pace. And honestly, some of the small business folks may be a little overwhelmed. They're also in the adjustment phase. They're also trying to pivot and adapt. And this could be just a good time to really provide that emotional support to them and let them know that even though we're all kind of like trying to figure it out, they can be supported, and there is support out there, professionally wise, and their business does not have to stop just because we're making these adjustments. Look for and join some virtual networking events. Any types of maybe virtual assistant networking events on Facebook or Zoom. Try to look for festivals or any type of virtual happy hours where you think your client audience might be and where your colleagues might be too. This is kind of a good opportunity for you to meet online entrepreneurs, virtual assistants, small business owners, and possibly mention your services if it's appropriate. And sometimes, if it's kind of like a smaller group of folks that are meeting online, they usually go around and everyone mentions what they do, they introduce themselves, and they also say kind of like where they work or the type of work that they're doing. And that would be just a really great opportunity for you to mention that you're this and the other. You're a virtual assistant specializing maybe this particular services, or this is your niche, and right now you have two, three, again, open spots in your professional portfolio where you're looking to fill the roster. It might be a great opportunity. And if there is also a chance to maybe pop in and share a little bit of like your professional experience or your expertise, depending on the topic of the conversation and depending on where the discussion goes. Again, you can really maybe impress someone with your expertise or just the things that you have to share about your industry. So again, just a very good and fruitful time right now to start building those relationships. And I also kind of just like wanted to mention that part of your marketing strategy here could be, if you have a little bit of time on your hands, sprucing up your professional presence online, on different social media platforms. If you, for instance, look at your LinkedIn profile, do you actually have one? Do you have a professional profile page on LinkedIn that is spot on, talks about your focus, talks about your industry, and kind of like advertises your services in the best way? Do you want to do a little bit of research of what that LinkedIn profile could look like, and what other virtual assistants have done, and how they've set their things up? The same goes for your Facebook business page. When was the last time you updated it? Maybe there is some information, extra information that you can include right now. Maybe that Facebook banner needs a little bit of an update. And the same goes for your Instagram wall. How are your graphics doing? Are you staying on brand, and are you staying consistent with your own posts? So all of those things can definitely be maybe looked at another time, and updated. So another thing that I wanted to mention here is your professional portfolio. Do you actually have one? And does your professional portfolio, again, kind of like advertise your services in the best light? Do you have the testimonials from your clients? Do you include the information about the types of services that you provide? Is your pricing structure and overall kind of like your fee structure, is it clear? Do you offer packages? Is it an hourly rate, or is it a retainer? Do you do just package rates based on the number of hours a month, or is it kind of like unlimited support? So all those little intricacies that are very important in clarifying the way how you do work for your clients, again, to minimize any type of confusion, hesitation, or doubts, to show and advertise you and your skills in the most favorable way, and to just show maybe some client love that you've received in the past. If you're just starting out and you have not really had like even your first client, this actually is a good time for you to maybe reach out to your friends and family. Ask them for some kind of like a test assignment or anything they need support with, and you do the task for them, maybe for free, and then ask them for testimonials. You can actually offer to perform that service for free in exchange for a testimonial, and just let them know why you're asking for it. Basically, I'm just starting out. I don't have any client feedback. It would be awesome for me to include some positive feedback, some good words into my portfolio. Would you be up for me helping you out with X, Y, and Z? And then like I can count on you writing something up for me so I can include it on Facebook, maybe on other social media platforms, and mainly in my portfolio. A great chance and a great time to do that now. If that's not part of your portfolio at the moment, looking at my notes here, do you want to use this time to maybe reach out to your past and some of the existing clients if you're already working with someone, and depending again on your relationship with your existing clients, asking them about the empty spots in your roster, and that you are available to take on more to take on more clients. And generally, I would just say that the word of mouth is a very powerful marketing tool. A lot of businesses operate on referrals, and this could be you too. And especially if your existing clients are loving the work that you're doing for them. And when you part with your past clients on good terms, and again, they enjoyed working with you, you had a perfect relationship with them, then again, ask for any type of referral, anyone that they maybe comes to mind that they can recommend you reaching out to, or if not, particularly reaching out to for to fill your empty spots right now, maybe to just start building relationships with. um, Again, like you can kind of like maybe include a little bit of a volunteer piece in here, if it's something very minimal. Again, just do not do free work like I mentioned earlier. Other virtual assistants, I would say the reason why I mention to circulate and to definitely network in other virtual assistant groups is because some of the members in those groups could be virtual assistant or virtual agency owners, right? So they might already have a team in place, and who knows, maybe they are looking to add another virtual assistant to their team. So you kind of like never know what type of business they are in and what type of model maybe their company has, and if they are using subcontractors, it doesn't maybe necessarily mean that you're going to be like a permanent member on their team. Maybe it's just occasional projects on a project to project basis. And why not? Maybe some projects are going to take a few weeks, a few months, and that again, like that's a little bit of like more stability in your financial income, right, with your financial situation. So use that opportunity too. Another thing that I wanted to mention is creating profiles on Upwork, Fiverr, Fancy Hands. Do you have professional profiles on those platforms? Maybe you would consider popping in and seeing what's happening, and to see if there are other projects that are floating around that you can bid on, especially when it comes to Upwork. Kind of like maximize your outreach right now, and that all can eventually kind of bring very good fruits of your labor as far as your marketing strategy. And then I am also curious if you're familiar with companies like Belay Solutions, Zirtual, Boldly. These are companies that basically have a pool of virtual assistants, experienced expert folks, talented people, and then they have clients who are looking for virtual support, and then they have their secret sauce to basically match them up and bring them together, so that the clients are supported and the virtual assistant is hired. So they are kind of like that middleman that facilitates this relationship. And I used to work at Belay Solutions, wonderful organization. This is exactly how I started out in my virtual assistant path. So happy that I had that jumping board kind of like in my professional experience. Their teams are amazing. Their team managers and their relationship managers are very supportive. So I've generally had a very positive experience with those companies. That's why I bring them up and recommend them as far as your marketing strategy. Again, maximizing your outreach and putting your eggs in different baskets. Would you maybe like to learn a new skill? So there are different free resources that are available right now, and I feel like more and more companies, even like in the social media, like scheduling area, like Buffer, Hootsuite, later Planoly, like they roll out different free courses that you can definitely take advantage of. And I think Fiverr has some courses available too. Basically, really looking through the frequently asked questions, the knowledge base. Adminja has an extensive knowledge base. Again, a wonderful tool that maybe down the road you can incorporate, or now if you're looking to optimize your internal procedures as a virtual assistant company owner, just incorporating something new, going up to the next level. So Adminja could be a great resource here. But basically, taking an inventory of all the tools, systems, and software that you already know, maybe asking around as far as like what else is popular, and what other resources and systems people use, and then seeing if you're familiar with them. And also taking a look when you are applying for jobs, taking a note of what clients actually need, and kind of like, again, keeping an eye on what tools they are asking for. And if you're not familiar with them, how about just jump in at the opportunity and start learning? So this could be a very good chance for you, again, to include that into your professional portfolio, any type of like maybe certifications that you're doing right now, any type of online courses that you take. Always include that in your professional portfolio, or your resume, or your cover letter, depending on what you're submitting. Basically, that should be reflected overall in your proposal. Elevate your professional portfolio, elevate your professional experience, and then that ultimately will elevate your marketing outreach. Then can you maybe reach out to your existing clients and just kind of like overall take a gauge of their work capacity, maybe help them actually restructure their work, and maybe reach out to your past clients and ask them again for work if you enjoyed working with them and for some reason you had to part ways. You parted on good terms, you enjoyed working with them. Why not just reach out and ask what maybe if there is another opportunity to either join their team. If they already have a virtual assistant, they're doing great and they might benefit from a second virtual assistant. That's not unheard of. Or if they maybe just have not thought about it, have been really caught up with the time of adjustment, and then might actually benefit from your services again, even if it's just short term. So that's also an opportunity. Not every job prospect has to be a long-term client. My last suggestion here, we're kind of like at number 10 already, is your local communities, community centers, churches, let me see, medical practices, medical offices, maybe homeless shelters, where you feel like folks and their staff might not be that tech savvy and might actually benefit from your online training of showing them around how Zoom works, or maybe how some virtual scheduling tools work. So who knows what kind of like support they might need. And just imagine how hard it is for people to navigate the closures right now, that they're not available to come to work, and then just also the added stress of trying to learn a new tool when you're trying to actually perform your services, and when other people's kind of like involvement or lives maybe depend on it. That's an extra added stress that you can hopefully help them alleviate and educate them on some of the online tools. So that's basically kind of like a list of the 10 marketing strategies that you can definitely try out, and reach out to me if you have any questions about the things that I just listed. I do have a checklist available if you're interested. I'm happy to share it with you. I did mention the portfolio. If you are struggling to put one together, I'm happy to share it with you. In fact, I can even record a quick video in Canva to show you the different templates that could be beneficial, and then the outreach email. So that email that you generally send via email or a direct message on Facebook, adjusting the language to the current times. If you need support with that, let me know. I can either share a template or I can review of what you usually send your clients. Another kind of like recommendation as far as how to handle current times is keeping in mind your budget. Your budget, as maybe already a business owner, if you are in the virtual assistant business for yourself, your family budget, your personal budget, and kind of like looking for ways how you can tighten the ship. So what could be done to maybe minimize the expenses? How can you review your monthly expenses and maybe cut down some of the services? Yes, I know we all love streaming, Netflix, Hulu, and different HBO, different types of platforms, but maybe you can remove just one of them. That's already some kind of like value there, and that's already the money that can stay in your pocket and can maybe alleviate that financial stress. So basically, any types of plans with these software tools that you're using that you can possibly downgrade, Maybe instead of a pro version, you are going down to basic, and reaching out to that software company, letting them know about your financial hardship, and just asking them to make those adjustments. That's something that you can consider. And then, what other tools can you maybe work without in this short period of time? Again, just thinking kind of like about your everyday operations, and considering that we are making adjustments and transitioning into the virtual space, maybe there are some tools that you used to use for more kind of like in-person relationships could be then canceled or put on pause. Maybe some other memberships could be put on pause. And as far as like your personal life, maybe there's some like workout exercises memberships that where you would go personally to take classes could be paused for some time, because there's so many free online resources available right now. And people are making lots of different recommendations for amazing workouts, and maybe some meal plans, and maybe some diet support, something along the lines of health optimization, that the tools that are available now for free, just because companies know how hard it is to transition for some folks to into the virtual space. So basically, any type of thing that you can come up with as far as revising your budget and your monthly expenses that can possibly alleviate your financial stress.